everybody, it's Mackenzie. This week for the New Ray Media podcast episode, we're here at the Oakville Lakeshore. We decided if you gotta work from home, why not bring your home to the beach and enjoy a little sunshine on a beautiful day? So we thought we'd bring you over here so we can chat about e-commerce. This week we're gonna be talking about where did e-commerce begin, where are we at now, and what's the potential for the future of e-commerce, and why should you be interested? To understand why e-commerce is the future, let's take a look at its past. Depending on the source you're looking at, the origins of e-commerce may vary. Some sources say that it originated as a standard for the exchange of orders or invoices between suppliers and their customers during a Berlin blockade in 1949. Other sources list the first e-commerce activity as a cannabis sale between students at Stanford and MIT in 1972. That's definitely the more fun story. But the closest practice of e-commerce to what we know as today was pioneered by Michael Aldridge in 1979. He developed the first remote shopping system by connecting a TV to a real-time multi-user transaction computer using a telephone line. He called it teleshopping. Pretty original. The first online transaction, though, came in August of 1994 when the New York Times issued a volume titled "Internet is Open," with the chronicle of a sale between two friends. There were many concerns about the safety of online shopping, so it took a few years for the early World Wide Web to be an optimal place for commercial growth. One of the first e-commerce sites was Amazon. Back in its origin in 1995, was an online bookstore. And now, as you obviously know, it's the largest retailer in the world. Amazon's advantage at the time was that traditional brick and mortar bookstores were limited to about 200,000 titles. They couldn't hold any more, right? While Amazon, being an online store without physical limitations, was able to offer exponentially more product. Eventually, Amazon's range expanded through the years, and now it includes everything from digital products to furniture, apparel, electronics, even streaming services. As you know, you can get anything on Amazon. Other early adopters of e-commerce include eBay, an auction site that has been online since 1995, and 2005's Etsy, which by 2019 saw sales around $5 billion globally. You can buy anything on Etsy. The cool thing about e-commerce is that it's a thing for everyone. It's a space that allows anyone to participate, and so it's common to find any type of activity. Business to business, business to customer, and customer to customer. Think of Etsy. You can go on there and buy from somebody who literally makes products in their kitchen. The fact that you don't necessarily need a physical space or even a warehouse to operate is a real game changer with e-commerce. You don't even need a physical product, as many sell digital content that allows immediate online consumption, like digital art. There's so many more examples you can think of. So what's up with e-commerce now? What's happening in the now? Business has been progressively changing and adapting to the innovations we make to the digital world. Slowly at first, but now it's going faster than ever. There was a lot of skepticism at first as to where interconnectivity could take us, but this has quickly changed. Now you can get internet access pretty much anywhere. Some data to back this up. Well, in April of 2002, there was 558 million users of the internet worldwide, which is around 8.6% of the world population. By 2012, the number rose to about 33.3% of the world. In March of last year, that number doubled, and today, more than 65% of the world is connected to the internet. This growth goes on par with the development of the web itself. In its early stages, it was called Web 1.0, and it was basically an online data storage server. By 2001, Web 2.0 came along, and it allowed the user to interact and produce content, not only consume it. Web 3.0 came in 2006, and it's what you and I are used to. It includes social interaction, communities, access on multiple devices, and complex nodes and connections that link all data and allow quick searches. In 1995, we couldn't imagine what the internet would become because it was such a strange concept, and most didn't even have the tools to comprehend it. I wasn't alive in 1995, but if you were, maybe you can relate to that. Today, we can take a peek into a few years' time. As the Web 4.0 is in its early stages, we can start to picture what the internet will be like in years to come. Web 4.0 uses artificial intelligence as a tool to create intelligent sites that interact and adapt to the needs of the user. Virtual reality environments like the metaverse are emerging as well. The internet is becoming an experience for the user. To add a little further to that, the 5th generation or 5G cellular networks have been deployed worldwide since 2019. This means more bandwidth and better connectivity for anyone, anywhere. With all this internet power at our hands, will e-commerce dominate physical stores? To be honest, yeah, probably. Online shopping is so easy. Everyone is taking advantage of it. Nowadays, you can find an online store for almost anything. In this era of development, we've all seen the perks and opportunities that come with an online business. Then why isn't everyone making the transition? Well, you may think it's not for you or that it won't work for your type of business, but you'd be surprised. The best way to think about e-commerce is not all or nothing, but omni-channel. Keep your current business just as it is and add the online dimension to reach a whole new set of customers. Why should you start an e-commerce business? I think I've given plenty of reasons already that you should start one. The statistics speak for themselves. Growth so far has been exponential, so one can assume it will follow the trend after the introduction of Web 4.0. When should I start an e-commerce business? Well, unless you can go back to 20 years ago and invest on early e-commerce, I suggest you do it now. It's still pretty early in the stage, and whatever is to come is still a good opportunity. Just think about this. 20 years ago, nobody thought we would be as connected as we are today, because most people didn't even know what the internet was. Now, with Web 4.0 just around the corner, we might not know exactly what's coming with it, but it will surely push us into the future. If you've decided to turn into an e-commerce business, you've made the right choice. If you want to know how to do it, well, that depends on the type of business you do. For example, if you're a business-to-business company, or if you do business-to-customer, or even what your products are, that's all gonna factor into how you should do e-commerce. You should definitely make your e-commerce an extension of your brick-and-mortar business, but you should know that a deal breaker, not only for e-commerce, but for any brand in general, is user experience. The path to victory in e-commerce lies in creating a positive experience around your brand. So let's summarize this bad boy. E-commerce has officially been around since the 90s, but it took a few years to experience significant growth. The development of the World Wide Web and our interaction with it has contributed a lot to the success of e-commerce and online platforms in general. Today, we're witnesses of a new era of the internet, one that we can only speculate where it will take us, and we have the opportunity to pioneer what it could be. So if you're interested in turning into an e-commerce brand, don't forget to tune in to the upcoming episodes of the New Ray Media Show. I'm gonna be giving some tips on how you can do exactly that in more detail and with more examples. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I hope that you're as interested in e-commerce as I am, and we'll talk to you soon.